Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel in another episode of From Little Things, Big Things Grow. Today's play is going to be about banners. Now this little baggie I've got here is full of what I call bonded things. Now when I say bonded, I mean that they have got double-sided tape on the reverse, on their rear end, so that I can use them like I do with stickers. Now these have come from scraps, they've come from the fronts of paper packets, they've come from wherever I've found pieces of paper or cardstock that is, this wide. What can you do with it? You can use it for little bits of collage, certainly you can use it to make tickets or buttons or whatever you want. But I had a thing about banners during the last month, and that's what I've been doing. So let me just shovel these back into the bag, and we can get to showing you, or I can get to showing you what I've been up to and how I've been doing it. I'm losing stuff on the table already. Whoops. Okay, sorry about that. My table is still a disaster area. I have not seemed to manage to clear it up very much more than what you can see. I'm not going to show you because it's a shame job. It's really quite terrible. But it just proves that I've been busy crafting. Okay, that will go into a little container. Let me get one out. I've got a couple of empty ones in my beautiful big case here. And I think I'll put it in green one. No, I won't. That one. Fun stands. Blue one. Okay. Alright. Now I can just tip this straight into here because this is all going to be banners and arrows. I've already made that decision. So when I want a banner or an arrow or something to pretty up a page, I can just go rifling through here and I'm going to have lots. I've got some here that are not bonded yet, and I can show you how to do that stuff on the ASMR video, but not right now. Right now I want to show you. Let's leave that open because as I cut these, I can just toss them straight into there, can't I? And they'll be already stored. Alright, let me just get some paper packs here and show you where I'm coming from. Now, most paper packs, you've got your pretty papers in there, but the front of them will show you the designs that you've got in each pack. So this would be the front, this would be the back. Back, front, back, yada, 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 as we go through. Now, all these little things, yes, you could use this as a small journal cover because it's fairly good board, as you can hear, or you could even use this as a panel on the side of a page or add something to it, stamp over it, make it look prettier than it already is. But I have chosen to put some double-sided tape on the back and use these things as little banners. Now, whether they work for you or not is entirely your choice. This sort of thing, these are all higgledy-piggledy, so this would for me work as a little backing sheet. The back of the pads are quite plain, so that's definitely cardstock material there that you can use. Now this one is called Garage Days, and it's, you can use this for masculine stuff. It's awesome. You've got your banners in there that you can put your tape on, turn them into stickers even before you get going. Put an envelope on the back here and then put all your stickers and stuff in the back of it so that you know what you've got. So there's all these beautiful things I have yet to play with. I've played with a couple of them, as you can see. These are all glossy. How absolutely stunning will they be when I've stickerized them? Now that's my new word for this year, stickerize. But look at all these gorgeous masculine type pictures, or even ladies who are into mechanics would enjoy getting a card with some of this stuff on it. And you've got all those little things in there. Where did I see that? Come on. Be nice, be kind. It's not going to be kind. Oh, there we go. There's lots of stuff there with Pa, Grandpa, Dad, my daddy, number one dad. Great for Father's Day and for masculine birthdays. All good. But these little pieces are what's piquing my interest at the moment. I'm not going to destroy this one yet because I've hardly used any of the paper. I normally only start manufacturing things like this when I'm down to the last 1 or 2 sheets. Turn those 1 or 2 sheets into journaling cards or a little booklet, and then I can use these as tags. They're little thin ones. You can sort them out in clusters, have a fat one, a thin one, a medium one, and put them all together with their little peaks and things, and you've got a lovely piece of embellishment to make. Okay, so putting these back over where they're not going to cause me any trouble, and by that mean get in my way. Everything gets in my way on this table at the minute. Okay, now this mark is something that I did. These were on the front of an 8x8 paper pad. I have used some of them, and I have saved these to show you what I've done. I have already gone ahead and put the double-sided tape on them, and I started marking out using my little banner template here. I just lined it up in the middle of this and put the markings, but I was having a senior moment last night when I was preparing this, and I just grabbed the marker, the little template, and I shoved it on there and used it, and oh darn. Now I've got a black mark on that one. I'm going to have to do something about it. But anyway, let's cut this one up, and then you'll see what I get in the end. And you're not going to see these marks on this side. Quite simple. Get 2 banners out of 1 8-inch length of paper. You can cut those down, you can double them up, you can do whatever you like with them. They are just gorgeous, in my humble opinion. And that one. So these, because they came out of the same paper range, actually match. So you can do that with them. And that's what I mean by a cluster of banners. Make them up into a little cluster, put a little piece of lace on them, a ribbon, a bow, a flower, a button, whatever you like, and you've got a lovely little piece of embellishment. Now, because I was very overtired last night, I left this black mark on the front of the paper, so I'm going to make a little feature out of it and leave it black. I'm actually going to make it a little bit blacker because I didn't cut that quite along the line. And that will be a little feature on a page somewhere. I can put a little button on it, as I said, a button, a flower, a leaf, whatever. Or you could even stamp on it if you really wanted to. And just to prove the point, I'll do that. Get my working paper down. I bought a stamp pad out. This is from Stampin' Up, and it's called Moon Lake. And as you can see, it hasn't been used a lot. I think I might take the little bird one. Okay. Now this, oh, that'll be right. It's not going to stick properly for me. Okay, a little bit of tape. Now when I'm bonding, I sometimes get little thin bits of tape that are left over, so I don't throw them out. I keep them. Some of them are quite long and very useful for doing little things like this. Just a little piece of tape. That was a roll I had left over, so I kept it just for that purpose, so that I know where all my bits are. I hesitated then. I didn't know whether I was going to throw that out or not. That was a bit naughty. Okay, now some VersaFine Clear, and this one is Nocturne, and I've chosen this because it's a pigment ink, but it picks up all of the little fine detail in the stamps. Absolutely wonderful ink. The little bird may not fit completely, but we will get a fair percentage of it on this banner, and that will make it, it'll just take it to that next level. just hold it down, fingers over it. You'll have to forgive the Band-Aid. I have a little thing that's here on this side of my finger, and I've just moved that. Oh good, it didn't show. And it catches on things, so I'm having to wear a Band-Aid. So there you are, there's that little stamp there, and I'm going to put that aside to let it dry before I put it in the box. I don't want it rubbing off on anything. Safe places over there. Now just get a baby wipe and clean that stamp off before the pigment stays on the rubber. Pigment inks are absolutely wonderful, but they do stain your stamps if you don't get them off them very quickly. It's a lesson I've learned through the years. Clean off your stamp, and then you can put it away safely knowing that it is clean and not heavily stained. Some of my stamps, my rubber stamps, are very heavily stained because I didn't learn this little trick until a couple of years ago maybe. Okay, now this one is a lot cleaner than this, so that can go in the bin. Fold this up. And put it in there, and that way it's ready to clean my brushes. Not being wasted, being kept sealed and tight and pretty. Okay, stamp away. Beautiful. That's that one part done. And I'd best take this off here before it sticks to something else too. Okay. Ready to go again. Make sure the lid's on that properly. Alright, another way you can get banners is using, as I said, using the front of your packaging. Now this was one piece of packaging I had, and I've already taken a little section off to show you what it's going to look like. The banner is going to be that way. It'll still look just as pretty. You can either have it that way with layers behind it. For example, this one. You could have that like that, and then put another one there perhaps, so that you've got a little cluster that way. It's just something to think about, something to do. Even that would look pretty. So I can put those in there straight away now because they're done for all intent and purposes. Okay, this was Prima paper pad I had, and the range was Darcel, but I happen to like that on its own as a little word plate or a little banner of some sort, so I'm going to leave it just like that until I work out what I want to use it for. I'm still going to put it in that box. This is the back, and I haven't done anything with it, but it is a good journaling size card. I can dress this up with something pretty and put it into my card box. But right now I'm going to put it over in that box there where I can work on it. I have already double-sided taped this. I will show you how I do this later. But now it's time to cut these out. And between each of them there's this heavy line, so some will get the heavy line, some won't. And I'm okay with that. Now you could leave this banner just as it is, or you can cut it into two by following the little line that's already there for us. And there you have a small one and a larger one. Not that you want to cover up the flowers, but I'm just giving you a little sample of what it could look like. Okay? Let's do the rest of them. I'm trying to go halfway through that thick line so that both of them get a little piece of it. Don't know if I managed that well or not. These are so pretty, and I loved using this paper range. I'm really quite sad to see the whole sheet's gone, but I do have a lot of the I say a lot, I've got about 4 or 5 sheets of the cutter parts, which I'm going to be showing you in just a minute. Don't worry, you don't have to sit through me cutting out all the time, but it is part of the process. It doesn't take long to build up a little collection when you start mass making things. See what I mean? It's looking quite lovely, isn't it? Okay, now, these may not go in that same box. I'll have to find another box for those. But all of these little ones here came out of this 6x6. I've even utilized the top part here. Now, I'll show you what I mean. I've already used one of these elsewhere. So once again, double-sided tape on the back. Do a little bit of jigsaw stuff here. Some of them I didn't quite have the volume of tape to go over the whole page. So I've got one of those little strips I showed you before, cutting down there, or not cutting down there, stuck down there. But these are going to come in very, very handy for my little books. See, there's one of the pieces that I took from the top here, or from this side actually, and all I've done is cut the little peak, and you've got a nice little banner. The same with that one. Cut off before you come to here, or just as you get to there, and then cut your peak in it. So there's nothing you can't do if you put your imagination to it. So you've got all these beautiful things that I can now put back in my bag, and I will have close to hand as I'm working through. I'm going to have to thin out my table. In all honesty, I'm going to have to do that because I'm working, or my intention is to work on little books for the first couple of months of this year and see if I'm still enjoying it come the end of March. If I am, I'll do another book and just keep going. So I want all of these things close to hand. So there's that one, and I've got that page there I can then cut up, or I can even use the back of it there, and some of these would sit on top of that quite nicely and not look out of place because they came from the same pack. They will go. See what I mean? Easy. Okay, so that's that lot. That I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with those back pages. Now this is another lot, double-sided tape. Took the top of the banner off and turned it into that. So from that, I've gone to this, all these little things. So this is a reverse from one big thing to several little things. But eventually they'll all get put into the bigger item. This is one I had a lot of fun with. I've always wondered where people got letters from, and without going through magazines and stuff like that. And then I discovered this in the back of one of my paper books. You beauty. So I've now got a little bag that says letter stickers. They will go probably into one of these. And to do that, once again, double-sided tape the back of it, which I have not done with this one, and cut them out individually. And I've got lots and lots of letters. 26, 28 letters. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Now, what am I doing with all these banners? I'll show you. Come back to my little booklet that I started showing you a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, one or the other, I'm not quite sure. But banners, I've stamped on those two using the Lavinia range of stamps to keep in with those. So there's that one. I'm taking that as I show you. I might as well flip through these pages so you can see them at the same time. I've got a little bit wordy on here. Family, love, kindness, visits in person, Facebook messages, phone calls, text messages. Hello, weekend. There's a banner here with another little banner on the top, and another one here that I use my fancy scissors. And these are Cupid's bow. And this is how they cut. It's really quite pretty. And I thought, yeah, why not do something like that? So I used a piece of border scrap that I had left over, cut that, cut the little banner with that on, and then stuck a sticker on it. What did I write up here? 4 a.m. is not a good time for me to craft. So many mistakes made. Need more sleep. Yeah, I agree with that. I can't remember what the mistake. Oh, they're very crooked. I know that one. This is not sticking down, or was not sticking down properly. Little piece here not sticking down properly. So I had fun that morning. I couldn't sleep, so I stayed up and did some crafting. And there's 2 more little banners here that I cut out from the same piece of paper that was on. Now that appears behind here, and I had the frangipani, or that one piece of the frangipani there. So I used it to do 2 banners and that one there. So banners can come in very useful. If I'd had any that matched up with this, I probably would have put them down here, but I didn't have any that matched up with the orchid. And there's another little banner up here that I have stamped on once again. More Lavinia stamps. I went purple. I love lavender, and I had this beautiful sunset on a calendar. So I thought, right, they can all go together and everything can be purple. I rather like it, actually. And that's as far as I'm going to show you. We've got 10 days left in this book, and then I'm going to start on another. So that's all I'm going to show you for now. I'm going to leave that there as my little marker. And put my hair tie on it. And put these glide-on clips away until I need them again to show me something else. Okay, now I did promise that I would show you what I was doing with this. Now, where is my cellophane paper bags, or cellophane bags? Now, I made a video that I called ASMR, which is the audio-visual type thing that you don't speak. You just let people listen to the noises and see if they can work it out. Well, not see if they can work it out, but sometimes it's relaxing for them, other times it gets frustrating. Okay. Now, I have my little banners here that I'm going to use. I have cellophane bags that I've already cut into pieces, and I had another one. Where is it? Where did that go? There it is. Not that I'm going to need 3, but I just need to have them handy in case I do need them. Okay, unroll my tape, and for this you're just going to need a decent cutting board. I think I'll lay them this way. Now I'm going to lay them so that they're a little way apart, so that I can truly demonstrate what I'm going to be doing. These are ones that I cut out before I remembered this little trick. Not so much that I didn't remember it, it's just that I didn't remember it. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for now because I don't think we need to watch me cut out gazillions of things. Do you? No, of course not. This is just a piece of bag, and I showed you that in the video, and I'll show you again. The bags that you use to put things in, your little trinkety things, the ones that I had my banners in, that type of thing. So if you've got some of these, don't throw them out if you've reused them, if you want to use this little tip. And just place that over the whole area that you've got, well, nearly the whole area, but over all of the things you want to cut out. Okay, now using my blade, and put that to one side. Okay. That didn't cut all the way through, dog nabbit. And my little dog here, I let him play with it. No, I wouldn't. No, don't believe that statement for an inch. Right, now, just finger pressing that down into the double-sided tape. Because what I want to do now is cut it without getting glue on my scissors. Now these have got a little bit of glue on them already, so I will use my finer ones, which I cleaned, and I'll show you how I did that too. Actually, I'll do that now because I do want to use those larger ones. A little piece of my waste double-sided tape, my leftovers. And what I do is literally put the tape onto the scissor, use something that's, fairly good, and just run it over the bladed area of your scissors. Pull it off. You might not see it, but there's a little splotch there of tape, a little bit of glue. It only takes 30 seconds, it's not long, and unless you get something like I've just done then and left more than I took off, that's better. I don't know if you can see that mess on the scissor blade there. That's what I'm trying to take off, because sticky will stick to sticky. If I can get 50% of that off right now, that will be great. Scissors are clean enough to cut with now, so you can just see the grit in that little bit of tape there. Just fold it in halves and pop it in your bin, and you're good to go. Okay, so now, proof in the pudding. We want to be able to cut through this and get nice clean scissors and a clean cut as well. So if you can cut alongside the edge, do so. Otherwise, take it in just 1 mil so that you're off the edge of the paper. Still cutting freely, because I'm not actually touching the glue with the scissor blade. I'm touching the cellophane paper or the cardstock underneath it. And one more snip. And then all you have to do is use your sharp item to remove the celluloid paper. You could even do this with broad sticky tape if you wanted to, and leave it shiny so that you've got a nice shined area there for that. You've still got the double-sided tape on the back, and listen to this, scissors are clean. No sticky spots. Not like this lot.